Alright, welcome everyone to Piano for the Bass Player. And today we're going to be looking at the tune Take the A Train. So we'll start off with just the left hand voicings. So the first voicing is a C6 chord. And essentially what that is we're playing a C major chord, C, E and G. And we're going to add in note 6, which is A, to give us our C6 chord. The next chord is D7 with a flat 5. And so for the D7 chord, it's D, F sharp, A and C. And so we take the 5 note, which is A, and we lower it to an A flat. It sounds a bit weird, but this note is actually the note that's being played in the melody. And so what we can do here is just leave out this note with the left hand, because the right hand will be taking care of that one. And this is actually a very common thing that you can do when you learn to play piano with these types of voicings, is you don't need to put in every single note. And so it's actually very common to leave out the 5th in these types of chords. So we can just play D7 as root, 3rd and 7, D, F sharp and C. And it's a more open sound. Moving on to D minor 7, we can play it in the same way. Just play D, F and C, root, 3rd and 7 with the left hand, leaving out the 5th because we're playing it in the right hand. Now that part of the melody is actually kind of tricky with the right hand, so you might want to spend some time working on that bit. So we're going to be playing A sharp, B, jumping up to an E. Okay, so that's the way that I would play this part. Some charts actually don't have this C sharp. They change that note to a D. That's really just a matter of personal preference. For the G7 chord with this 2-5 progression, this D minor, G7, C6, you could play the voicings in the same way that we did in the 2-5 lesson in the key of C. Just playing D minor 7 like that, bring the top 2 notes down for G7, and then playing either C major 7 like we did in the video, or playing C6 like is on the chart. But for this G7 chord, there's also this extra little tasty thing that you can do. It doesn't work particularly well in this part of the song because we're playing an A natural with the right hand, but you could, rather than play it like that as a G7, you can raise the G to a G sharp, and then you've got this sort of rootless voicing for a G7 flat 9 chord. Right? If I put the G in the bass here, this is the note that the bass player would play. You get this nice rootless voicing. And now G minor 7, we're going to come all the way up here, pinky on G, B flat, D and F, that's our G minor 7, and lowering the top 2 notes to C and E to get our C7 voicing. G minor 7, C7, and that takes us to the B section for F major 7. Now once again, if you want to play it F major 7, that's fine, that's what is in the chart, or you can play it as F major 6. Once again, this D7, so we'll take out the 5th there. And here's our voicing of this G7 with a flat 9 in there. what I would play for a solo with the right hand, over the C6 chord you can just play a C major pentatonic, which is simply where you play C, D, E, G and A. So 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 notes. The D7 flat 5, I just like to think of the key of C major, but you change F and G to F sharp and G sharp so that you can play those notes in the chord. So we've got D, the root note, E, the 2 or the 9, F sharp's the 3rd, G sharp or A flat is that flat 5 sound. You play an A, the 5th, and the B, the 13, 7, and the root. D minor 7, once again, just playing white keys. G7. And leading into the B section, we play in the key of F major. So you could think of these modes, right? G Dorian, C Mixolydian, and F major scale. You could do that, or you could just think of the key of F major the whole way through, right? D7, you have lots of options. You could go back to that same one that we did for the A section. Alright, so that's all we have time for this lesson. I hope it was useful, and good luck with your piano playing, and I'll see you next time.